here because she said something about she had a COVID test of her daughter and her son, and she was going to go. She's, yeah, if you got her number real quick. Oh, she is on. Laura, you must have tested positive.
She's still muted.
She's muted. You doing okay? Okay. Doctor, oh, okay. But we appreciate you thinking about us not coming down here sick. So, all right. It's a little after 9. Did we ever hear from Al Torrens at all, one way or the other? Oh, okay. We do. So that's what we need to talk about. All right. We have a quorum, and purpose of today is basically for me to kind of bring everybody officially up to date on the issue we discovered with our ordinance. You know, with the chief passing and the fact that this is being deemed somewhat an in-service death, we've never had one of those. And then we got to looking at the ordinance with the both the actuary and the attorney, and we discovered that the benefit paid to the beneficiary in this case is somewhat unusual. The ordinance, instead of giving them any actuarial equivalent benefit, which means they can pick just like everybody else, from 10-year certain life annuity, 20-year, whatever the options are. That's the same amount of money to the fund over the long haul. They're limited to one option, a 10-year certain, which means in this case, the widow will get approximately $6,000 a month for 10 years, then it stops. Which is a little, I'm sorry, in the ordinance. The ordinance defines the benefit in case of a in-service death where they haven't made, it's kind of a special situation where, where you're working past your normal retirement age, but yet haven't made retirement. And it falls under the definitions, and Mike Tierney and our attorneys looked at it and basically said, that's what it says. And they say, I know, but the ordinance controls. It's in the city, it's the official city document, the law that they, the 75-page plan document. Yeah, but we tell you what I asked her to do, her being the attorney. Mike Tierney initially said, hey, this is the only one I've ever seen in the world that does it this way. I do this all the time. It's got to be a mistake. We would assume, we had him also do the calculation for her to have a life annuity. And it was about, call it round numbers, $3,500 for the rest of her life. Yeah, it's less because it's the actuarial equivalent. Well, the difference is she's 45, 46 years old. So if she makes the election, if we take the default one that's in the ordinance, at age 55, it's going to stop, which is probably not what anybody intended. Mike Tierney seemed to think we could administratively just say do it. And that was a mistake. I asked the lawyer, I said, okay, put it in writing, we have the authority to do that. Well, guess what? She said, like, no way, Jose. Uh, her recommendation, and I spoke to the city manager also, Mr. Williams, is that the ordinance be amended retroactively to give her the ability to make this election for a life annuity. And this would apply to everybody. This is just a flat out mistake, I think. And so consequently, I've asked her to draw up the ordinance. Mike Williams, the new city manager, has agreed to go talk to the city council members individually to explain this is just a mistake, because he understood it after we explained to him. And he doesn't seem to think it's going to be any problem. We've got to go through the process, which means we're going to have to hold, council will have to hold 2 public hearings, and we'll have to have an actuarial evaluation done that basically says it's nothing, because we're not going to do it if there's a new cost. All it is it's an actuarial equivalent, another payout option. So that I just want to get you all guys on board that that's what we're doing. Make sure you may see some ordinances published in the paper, things of that nature, because they have to go through a process. And I didn't want that to blindside you guys or anybody on the fire front. What the hell are they doing? Well, that and it's retroactive to give her the benefits that I think all the professionals think she was entitled to in the first place. That it's just a Scrivener's error more than anything. So give her what's going to happen. My understanding of what's going to happen is, and I hadn't seen it, Laura, when and if she turns in a application for benefits, understand city HR is working with her to get it before the 15th of next month so she can get a paycheck. She will get a check for $5,900 because that's the only option. It'll probably take 60 days to amend this ordinance, give or take, because the city council has to hold 2 meetings. It's got to be read twice. It's got to rerun through the public hearing process. Just a bunch. 60 days, maybe 90, depending on the time frame. And she'll get the benefit that the ordinance calls for right now. Then, since they got to make it retroactive, the lawyer said she'll have an opportunity to go in and say, okay, I don't want that, I want this. And then we'll kind of fix the math prospectively, so she'll get what, she elected.
So she would get 10-year certain payout now.
Yeah.
And if it changes, she would get the deduction.
It'd be backpack figure and fixed. And she may not elect to do that, but I think.
Right. She might elect just to keep the 10-year certain. We don't know.
That's right. They're talking to her. But I think from everybody else's perspective, I think it's a good thing to be in their 10-year cert, because I think I know after I thought about it for a while, the thought process was that if you continued to work, you're probably past age 55, maybe pushing 60. Well, 10-year certain from somebody, okay, to 50, that makes sense. It doesn't make sense for somebody younger. That's the reason you want to give an actuarial equivalent to pay out. And there's no downside, but that's exactly right. That's exactly right. That's right. That's right. And I think it's the fair thing to do. And I really do believe it was a mistake, but it's probably, like I said, the thought process was it would be an older person since they're past normal retirement age. So, and gosh, you hope these things don't happen very often. Yeah. But when they do, for the life of me, if I was advising her, I would say, you probably want to take that life annuity. Because if you live do the math, if she lives a normal life, it's a whole hell of a lot more money. because of our internal rate of return, allegedly better than what you can make elsewhere. But, you know, that's up to her. But, you know, we got other people that this can happen to, and I just don't think it's, like I say, my whole point of holding this meeting today was to tell you, I asked them to draft the ordinance, and we started down that process, but I didn't want you guys to get blindsided. What the hell's David doing without having a discussion? So, yeah, which is what we're trying to do. If it's actual or equivalent number of plans, shouldn't care. Yeah, I appreciate it. You now broke up. Is this any better? I'll move the microphone around.
I'm having connection issues.
Okay, well, does anybody object to where we're heading toward? Okay. And yeah, and that's what I've been saying. I can't talk to you, I can't have a conversation on the phone legally with you about this without doing this meeting, so that's the whole point, so. And the other thing I'll point out, if we have a public hearing, the city manager may want some of us to show up at the hearing, depending on what the city council feedback he gets. And if that's the case, we'll let you know. Okay. Where are you at? Okay. Gotta take care of the. Well, good. Glad everything worked out. All right, guys. Anything else? Like I say, today we didn't really advertise to do any business, so we can only talk about this. So, all right. Have a good one, and thank you very much.
Do we need to adopt that ordinance about meetings that was on the agenda for today, Laura?
What ordinance?
Out of the one that's about meetings, where if there's any.
Laura did the agenda, so I don't know what the public notice said. Talk about the ordinance. That's what we talked about. You know, the amendment, the ordinance. So we're notifying you guys what you're gonna start seeing in the paper and hearing around town. All right.
That's all it is today.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave. You too. Bye, everybody.
Daniel, sorry to get you down here for this.
It got me a little bit better schedule at the hospital today.
It worked out.
Yeah.
But I'm just telling you, you know,